Preya.
And I'm Melanie.
And today we'll be resuming our chapter deep dive. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Let's get into it. So, my question to you, Melanie, do you have any fun stories about babysitting?
Oh man. Uh so I only really babysitted like once or twice when I was like, a little tween. But um, a lot of my mom's brothers, like and uncles and stuff, they're all 15 years older than my mom. So all their kids were already so grown up by the time my brother and I came along. So I never really was like around babies. And since my brother was only like a year and a half younger than me, I didn't really ever get to watch him. So really my first foray really into like babysitting, if you want to call it that, was when I was a nanny for like a year for this ER physician in town. And I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. It was good for what it was at the time. It was just like, I got there at like 7:30 in the morning, and then I like got to leave every day at like 3:30, and then it gave me enough flex time that I could still kind of do like modeling stuff on the side. And if I needed to like just drop it a hat and like leave and not come that day, they were totally fine with it. But that's really it. I don't really have a whole lot of stories. How about you?
So, even though I was a huge fan of the Babysitter Club books, I had no interest in looking after kids in the neighborhood. And I was such a hermit that I wouldn't even know the first thing about networking. But in my case, I did have quite a few cousins who were at least a decade younger than me, so I spent a lot of time with them.
Hmm.
And I was lucky enough to have fun memories because, now everyone's just busy and it's hard to meet up. I don't know how we did it back in her day.
See our New York episode where you hadn't seen your New York cousin in 10 years.
Oh my god, don't rub it in. Well, it wasn't 10 years. Last time I saw him was 2019, and then we're like, what, 2025? Just six. Just six. I still meet up with family when I can, and I especially want Felix to grow up with my cousin's children.
Yeah, I've been telling all my friends since Luna's very much going to be an only child. I keep telling every single friend, I'm like, I will be fun, Aunt Melanie. Bring your children to me. I will watch all your kids. Any sleepovers at my house, I am fine with. I want this. Give me your children.
Oh, that's fun. Like, I have a friend, and he has a son that's 1 month younger than Felix. And then during, the Labor Day long weekend, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be cooped up in the house with this child. What am I going to do? I'm like, oh yes, we have a friend his age. And then Zoom, and then they had a play date. And it was cute, because I
Yay.
know that Felix interacts with kids at daycare, but I don't see it. So it was fun to see him with another little boy, and then Felix said ball, and then Darian said ball, and I'm like, it's so cute.
Oh.
Uh, Today we'll be discussing Chapter 44, Like a Child. The release date was February 26, 2003, which is 2 months after the last chapter, and we are kicking off another new year, 2023. On a personal note, this is where Wish Chan stopped before I discovered New Trials in March 2003. And then I had to wait for chapter 45 with the rest of the fandom.
Oh my gosh.
The word count is 19,245 words, just 3,000 more words in the last chapter. We're in the month of October, and the gang is in the ninth grade. Time for the summary. Malin explained to Kai that Syaoran losing his Lee clan title would be a terrible thing. When he suggested that Syaoran should make the decision, they got in a fight. Sakura and Aaron went to the orphanage with Yukito to help with the vaccinations, where they saw Yuri, the girl Aaron rejected, who mentioned she remembered Aaron from the past after he stepped out. The conversation was interrupted when Yuri disciplined a 7-year-old named Subaru for breaking another child's doll, and Sakura was surprised with his immediate dislike for her. Sakura went to get Aaron, and they talked about their philosophies on good and evils of humanity when Subaru roped them back in by causing havoc. After he screamed that he was going to die while getting his shot, Sakura learned that he was in the early stages of a brain tumor. Yuri told Sakura that she and the Chang twins used to belong to the same orphanage. Sakura was surprised to hear that Erika used to be ill. That night, she discovered that Subaru followed her home, and he made her promise that he'll go back after she spends the next day with him since it was his birthday. She hoped that Syaoran would understand. On Sunday, Syaoran and Wolfie Chan greeted Sakura and Subaru at the park at 7 a.m. Annoyed that he had to babysit, he said that after breakfast and lunch, Subaru will go back before dinner. After having ice cream for breakfast, they went to the aquarium. There they learned about Subaru's wish to grow up strong so that he can swim across the ocean and meet his parents. He also spoke about the reality of going to hell for being bad, as informed by the head of the orphanage, which Sakura dismissed. They had pizza and birthday cake for lunch when Subaru admitted that it wasn't his birthday, but Sakura knew. Subaru asked Sakura to kiss Syaoran. They got red, and so Subaru stated that Sakura can go out with him instead. Finally alone with her, Syaoran took Sakura to the same restaurant in Tokyo where they spied on her grandfather and uncle, and she was flustered with the intimate atmosphere. Syaoran told Sakura that since they spent the day with Subaru, he'll tell her what he wanted to say on the following Sunday. Sakura gave Syaoran a set of green and pink teddy bear mugs as a thank you gift for an apology for breaking his favorite green mug. Syaoran stated that he'll save the other for a special guest, and she knew he meant her. On their way back, the wave hit harder than usual, and the earthquakes led a lot of people to evacuate the train, but Sakura couldn't pinpoint their location. Syaoran explained to a frustrated Sakura that they were fighting the Dark Ones because it's their responsibility, and uses her magic star to explain the goal for equilibrium of power. Before using the unicorn to return home, Syaoran tried to get Sakura to see that she was more important than his Lee clan honor, but she didn't pick up what he was dropping. The next day, a strong earthquake brought Sakura, Aaron, and Kai to the chaos of the orphanage, since the head was at the hospital. When the earthquake threatened to break down the building, Sakura confronted Aaron as the source of the dark forces for the first time, and asked him not to hurt the innocent. Before answering, he saved her from peril, which surprised him. He said he would do his best not to hurt the innocent, and Sakura was as happy as a child, even if he insisted that he would show her no mercy. That was when Sakura witnessed a dark aura that controlled Aaron, and after getting over the assault, he asked Sakura to save him. Syaoran went to visit Melin, who was out of the room for a checkup, and decided to clean up. He found a letter for him from his mother, advising him that the clan was threatening to strip him from his chosen one title, and that he should go home for the time being to prevent it. Melin came back, and they talked about how Kai didn't go to school or back home. Secretly, Syaoran was angry that Melin thought he couldn't handle the news, and threw away the letter. Hungry for freedom, the Kaiji magician has gone back to his criminal ways. So, we pick up exactly where we left off, with Melin's cliffhanger of announcing that Syaoran might lose his title. Interestingly enough, Kai asks if it's the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Melin knows how important the role is, and then we get a reminder of how Syaoran's uncle Wu Tai is calling the shots, considering the Great Elder's poor health.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I understand that the late Malin doesn't want to deliver the news, but like the way Kai was going at it, it's like, listen, this is Syaoran's decision. You can't shelter him forever. And unfortunately, as we'll see at the end of the chapter, he gets to learn this the hard way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that I think the family brought up a good point that with that kind of news, I think Malin would have been the best person to give it to him, and so then the fact that she's not telling him, and it's just, it's one of those things, the communication, dark floors. I think in Malin's own way, I think she thinks she's protecting Syaoran. I think she thinks that she is doing the right thing, but we all know that she should have just told him, but it is what it is.
I think she's just delaying the inevitable. It's a hard conversation to have. It's a conversation she has to have. And maybe she was just telling herself, well, I'll tell him when I go home, which is why she opted to stay at the hospital longer than she needed to.
Right. Yeah, exactly. She was any excuse to not tell him. I think she was looking for it.
It's a new day, and this time Syaoran and Erica get roped into playroom duty. The kids cheer that Scary Kai wasn't there, which surprised me, because later on they're going to really come around to adore him.
Yeah, it's soon after, it's in the next couple chapters, but it's after Miho is there, and I won't give it all away, but he changes pretty soon after Miho goes in, of course.
I loved all of your voices for the kids.
Thank you.
But at the same time, it makes me so happy that I don't work at a daycare.
I could not handle that. Or, I see Luna's preschool teacher and kindergarten teacher, and I am just like, I would not have the patience for that. That's just not the type of person I am.
And here at the top of the episode, it's like, everyone give me your children.
If they're my babies and people that I care about. But, it's more like the children, I think themselves is okay, but it's the having to deal with the parents and dealing with all of that. And and if you even do one little toe out of line, you get in trouble and and especially here in America, I don't know how it is in Canada, but teachers get no support. They're not paid well. Budget cuts happening constantly. I could not deal with that.
It's pretty much the same here. Yeah. Erica storms out of the playroom, and when she runs into Aaron and Sakura, we can see how triggering being at the hospital is for Erica. Yeah.
I'm surprised she volunteered in the first place, honestly. I'm really shocked.
Yeah. It's like, I guess it's just for storytelling purposes. Just to have the whole gang together, plot lines and story arcs and whatnot. But it's true. It's like, there's no reason why Erica would spend her free time at a hospital, of all places. Aaron left to take care of her, leaving Sakura to see what Syaoran was up to. And I actually loved the way he was teaching the children martial arts.
So cute.
Yeah. Toya lectures Sakura for getting distracted, and then he targets Syaoran and tells him to stay away from Sakura, which pretty much falls on deaf ears.
So good.
Yeah, and it's like, it's probably too late, and Syaoran's like, yeah, it's too late.
I love, though, that, it used to be, they would just glare at each other and whatnot, but, I feel like Syaoran is, really starting to stand his ground with Toya, and we'll especially see that later on in Arc 3 when everything goes down, but I think he's really being I'm almost a man, and I love your sister, and you just gotta get over it, my dude, Yeah. So I love the fact he's finally kind of standing up to him a little bit and being a little sassafras. I like it.
So, now we're with Kai and Meilin, where Kai calls her out for not telling Syaoran the truth. And, surprise, surprise, this sparks another fight between the two.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, this puts him in a foul mood when S&S try to talk to him. So I think this is the point where Kai kind of like is very edgy and he's not really in these scenes because like I was listening to your audiobook chapter and I didn't even notice that Kai was pretty much missing for the most part until the end. Let's like fast forward to the end of the chapter, but Maylin was telling Syaoran, it's like, yeah, he doesn't visit me anymore. And Sharon's like, oh, I didn't know that. I would have visited you a lot more often. But yeah, Kai is pulling away.
Yeah, which I mean, in his defense, Maylen's kind of pushing him away, and then his locket got stolen, and he knows his sister's being taken advantage of by a dark force or someone out there masquerading as him. Like, the boy has a lot going on, and I feel like he looked to Maylen as his comfort, as like his person, the person he could really talk to about anything and everything. And when I love Maylin, but she is such a nag. She's such a nag. And it's like, just leave the man alone. Just like be there to support him. And again, I think Maylin thinks she's coming at it from a place of like love and friendship, but
Nah, Maylin is just a big know-it-all. I told you so.
mm-hmm.
Just do things my way, and everything's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday at school, Sakura declines Chiharu's invitation to go to the museum on Sunday because she cleared the day for Syaoran. Hooray! It's happening, people. It's happening, so we think. That afternoon, Sakura and Aaron accompanied Yukito to the orphanage to administer vaccinations. They run into their classmate Yuri-chan, who is a volunteer. And it didn't take long for Aaron to get triggered from the current location, and he quickly excused himself to hang up the laundry. So it's like first we have Erica at the hospital, and we wonder why she's at the hospital, and then Aaron finds himself at the orphanage of all places, and like I understand why he went because he's paired with Sakura and they're under Yukito and whatever Yukito does, they have to do. But like we can see right away that he does not want to be there.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how, I probably wouldn't have put this together without us talking about this right now, but it really is such a perfect mirror image of what just happened with Erika and is now happening with Aaron. They're both just triggered, and I think they don't want people to know about their past, so I think they're like trying to pretend like it doesn't bother them and just go and whatever. Whereas we all know if Aaron would have went to Yukito and been like, hey, this is my history with this place. I'm really not comfortable going there. Like, Yukito, of all people, would have been like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he would have, like, switched him out with Syaoran, but then maybe that's what Aaron really didn't want, so anyway.
Or maybe it's like he didn't realize until it was, like, right there, and that's when it hit him.
True. I mean, there's many things that you think you've gotten over until you're in that situation, and you're like, oh, turns out I'm not as over this as what I thought I was.
A piercing wail over a broken doll heralds the entrance of our dear Subaru.
Oh, I'm like, so happy to see him.
I know. Well, listen, we know how his story ends, but rather than being sad off the bat, let's enjoy the time we get to spend with him.
Yes.
Even though enjoy might be generous because he sounds like an absolute terror.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where he's a little boy that is just begging for attention. So he's doing anything he can to get attention because it sounds like that head orphanage lady should not be running an orphanage. Like, what the heck? So, when you approach it in that type of psychology way, you're like, okay, this is why he's acting out, but good gravy.
Later on, Sakura went to look for Aaron and found him sitting out back. They have a conversation about how there are people less fortunate than them. While Sakura feels fortunate, Aaron doesn't return the sentiment. Sakura does admit that she's not as optimistic as before, but she still has hope.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was time for Subaru to get the vaccine, I did not expect it to be such a production. I know he was behaving badly, but the amount of manpower that it took to pin him down seemed to make everything worse.
So, I have a confession.
Uh-oh.
Fun fact about Melanie Corner is when I was Subaru's age, I had to get a penicillin shot, and it took 8 nurses to hold me down.
Oh my gosh.
So, this can't happen. It's my favorite story my mom loves to tell because, I hated needles when I was that age. And then shortly afterwards, once I got diagnosed with Crohn's and I was having to get like injections and shots and stuff all the time. So that I quickly got over it. But my mom loves to tell that story, how it took 8 nurses to hold me down.
And here I thought that, like, you were performing that scene but cringing at the same time, and now this is just unlocking a childhood memory. We learned that Subaru has a brain tumor and that the orphanage didn't have the funds for the operation. And unfortunately, that's still a problem in this world decades later.
Yeah, I wonder, I don't know Japan's health system, but over here we have a thing called Medicaid. It doesn't pay everything, but it's like, if you're a person in a financial constraint, you do get some type of medical help. But I mean, America's not perfect. Let me be the absolute first one to say that. But I just wonder if I might Google this real quick.
Before you said Medicaid, I thought you were going to say GoFundMe.
Oh, this is way before GoFundMe. No, Japan does not have a Medicaid program. Japan has a universal healthcare system which provides mandatory health coverage to nearly all residents, including options for low-income individuals. This differs significantly from the U.S. model, where Medicaid is separate. Interesting, but I mean, whatever. It's a story, but it's one of those things.
Sakura finds Aaron fixing the broken doll, and he complains about he doesn't like children. Sakura said that she always wanted a younger sibling, and that made me laugh out loud, because we're going to meet Nina later on in Arc 3.
That's so true. So true. Yeah, she's coming up here pretty soon. And spoiler alert, but I just did that scene for the Arc 4 audiobook, and oh man. Gold.
Aaron mentioned that he and Erica used to live in an orphanage, and Sakura was quite shocked over the revelation. So Sakura and Yuri, they end up leaving late, and that's when Sakura gets the tea by connecting the fact that Yuri used to live in the same orphanage as the twins, and once she got the confirmation, she was asking how were the twins like when they were younger, and then she learned about them back in the day. So this is where she learned that Erica was sick. She didn't know about this before, and this is the first time that she's learning this detail. Now, because Yuri was adopted, she didn't know how the rest of the twin story went, but she could only assume that they were adopted by someone rich enough to pay for Erica's surgery and then travel the world. But Sakura knew that they only lived in servants, so the question about how Erica got better, that was the real mystery.
But we as the reader know.
Oh yes, we know. But, like, with the fact that Erica being sick, she also talked about how Aaron was really close to his sister, and even though he had the chance to, like, make friends and be, like, a normal boy, he just stayed with her, and then that's how they got the reputation of being stuck up. That night, Subaru followed Sakura home. She wanted him to go back to the orphanage, but Subaru said he wanted to spend Sunday with her because it was his birthday. And you know, us birthday girls, it's like, how can we complain? How can we argue with the kid? It's like,
Right.
it's like, no, birthdays should be a national holiday.
Agreed.
She tried to protest since the day was saved for Syaoran, but she caved at the end. It was the morning of the date, and Syaoran was accompanied by Wolfie-chan, which was really cute. And it's sometimes I kind of forget that Wolfie-chan is still in the picture, so I'm really glad that Wish-chan inserted him into this date.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him as well. I was like, oh, hi, Wolfie-chan.
Yeah, you are a thing. Syaoran was quite shocked that he had to spend the whole day babysitting Subaru, the brat, but honestly, who can blame him? In the end, Syaoran made Sakura agree to having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Syaoran was taken aback when Sakura insisted on ice cream for breakfast, and there was a touch of foreshadowing because Syaoran quickly went from being indifferent about the flavors to coming up with an answer real fast after seeing Sakura's reaction, and this is where she wondered if he could read her mind.
Girl, what a good pickup. Wow. Very good. I did not pick up on that at all.
because you know the mind reading arc hasn't really started yet, but I wondered if this was like Wish-chan's little way of foreshadowing. It's like, oh, fun things are yet to come.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, you're probably 100% correct.
They go to the aquarium, and I am giddy with the way Wish-chan predicted this clear card location where S and S were on a date. And speaking of that episode, there was a dark-haired boy who commented that S and S were bright red, and Wish-chan pointed out that he looked like Subaru in the episode review.
So good.
Mm-hmm. So, in the chapter, Subaru wishes that he could swim across the ocean, and he believes that his parents are waiting for him on the other side. Poor hearts.
Oh my gosh. As a mom, that just breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm. And then this is what Melanie was alluding to a bit earlier. So the conversation turned really dark when he said that the orphanage workers flat out said that he was going to burn in hell after he died. Like, what? What?
Insane. Insane. That woman has no business being in that position. Oh my God. Like, Sakura's better than I am. I would have immediately reported that woman. Like, I don't care, your leg is broken or whatever here pretty soon. Like, that's karma. That is 100% karma, by the way. Mm-hmm. But I would have been reporting that woman. Mm-hmm.
We pivoted to lunch, which was pizza and birthday cake for dessert, and that's when Subaru confessed that it wasn't his birthday, but Sakura already knew that and wanted to give him a good day.
See, this is one of those scenes where, like, it just proves and shows, like, Sakura is a lot smarter than what anyone gives her credit for. Like, yes. I love, like, this is my favorite type of Sakura scene where she just proves everyone wrong. Oh, I love it.
Yes. And then, like, an arc for, like, when she does all of that major research behind the scenes, unbeknownst to everyone, and then she pulls off the biggest, like, yeah. No, our girl there's a lot more to her than meets the eye. Subaru's last request was for SNS to kiss, but they didn't entertain that request, much to all of our dismay. It's cute that he brought up Romeo and Juliet. Sakura was ready to end the night, but Syaoran insisted they go to Tokyo for an Italian fancy dinner.
Before we get into this,
yes,
my little performance when Subaru says, "Well, then I'm gonna marry her," and then Syaoran goes, "Ha! Good luck!" Like, that was like my favorite Syaoran acting I've done in quite a while. I was pretty proud of it.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that in my summary. I didn't mention that in my notes, but yeah, that was pretty funny because it's like, what? You're not gonna act on it? Okay, I will.
And Sharon's like, "Ha, good luck!" Like, oh, I loved it.
And this oblivious girl, she doesn't know heads or tails.
I would have loved it if the only thing I would maybe change is for him to be like, "Well, I hope you like mirrors as a gift," or something like that. Like Sharon would never be that mean, but that would have been so funny.
For sure. So, so they're at the restaurant, and it's the same one that they went to that summer. And it looked like Syaoran was going to talk to Sakura about his big revelation at the beginning of Arc 3, but he pushed it to the week after when he got her to promise another Sunday. And it's like, wow, Syaoran, you're really kicking the can here.
And spoiler alert, it doesn't happen next Sunday again either because of hijinks.
Oh, yes. Sakura is quite the chatterbox, but honestly, the upscale ambiance is making her nervous, and I don't blame her.
Mm. And then one more thing I want to mention is I feel like she was also nervous, not only because of the upscaleness of the restaurant, but I also feel like this is really the first time she's really felt like it was a date, like an actual date. Like, I think everything else has been more under the guise of like, oh, you're treating me to a dinner because of XYZ, or like, I lost a bet, or whatever, or we're in Tokyo, so we just happen to be here. Like, whereas this one, it's in the evening, it's in a fancy restaurant, and like they're very here pretty soon. They're gonna have a DTR, like.
Yeah.
So I think she was kind of like, wow, this is a date, and I don't know how to act on a date, and I don't know what I should do, and do I look into his eyes, or do I just look at my plate? Do I,
Oh, and then she gifts Syaoran 2 teddy bear mugs, and that made me happy because the first time I went to a ceramic cafe, I painted a mug, half pink, half green, with 2 teddies on each side. Came out kind of wonky, but I love it.
Oh, they are so cute.
Mm-hmm. On their way home, they definitely got into the vicinity of the wave, but because of the nature of the vibrations, it was hard to pinpoint it. And this is kind of where Sakura had an existential crisis, where she questions why should she fight the Chang twins. And Syaoran gives her a wake-up call and tells her that's pretty much her responsibility to protect the people she loves and bring balance back.
Yep, and this is another crisis she's going to keep having.
Yeah. So this is the part of the chapter where Wish-chan summarizes CCS in terms of allies that Sakura makes and places it in a star analogy. So he ticks off 7 of the 12 points of the star with everything pre-neutrals. And I remember this blowing my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I don't know who posted it in the group, but someone like did the actual like where they did the star and put all their names around the star and just so well thought out. It's crazy.
I can put that up as resources. It's on DeviantArt. Yes. So yeah, no, and then Wish-chan in Arc 4, she does her own version, but then that was when Syaoran was in the outs. So it's like on her version, like Syaoran's name is kind of faded because he's not part of her circle yet. But yes, I'll post the Arc 3 one on Facebook for sure. The wave kicked them off the train, so Syaoran suggested that they go home with the unicorn. Then, out of the blue, Syaoran asks Sakura if she knew what his motives were for fighting the Dark Ones, and she immediately answers to uphold his family honor. Then he asks a line of questioning where he wanted Sakura to realize that everything that he did after Sakura became card mistress was actually for her, but of course her head didn't go there, and he didn't bother to change his thoughts because we all know the communication is running interference.
Dark Force, I'm telling y'all.
Melanie's big prediction.
It's the big bad, I'm telling y'all.
It's a new week at the hospital, and by now, it looks like the hospital is stuffed to the brim from the earthquake aftershocks. The journalism club's task for the day was to go to the orphanage because the head of the orphanage got injured. Karma, karma, karma.
We're all so sad.
And the administration was falling apart. So we do feel bad for Yuri. It looks like she's the only one holding the fort. So it's a good thing that they gave her some reinforcements. Kai is back in the picture. Long enough to comment about Aaron's missing ruby earring. So this is just like a reminder that he's still
poking the bear.
Yeah, he still has the Five Forest treasures stashed somewhere secret. And, like, Melanie, I have to give you props on Subaru, especially when he was telling his tall tales. That was very entertaining to listen to. The tremors were getting worse and worse, and Sakura finally demanded that Aaron stop the earthquakes. It's like, he starts off by playing dumb, but it's like, come on, this is not the time.
Well, especially it's like a building full of children, and he's just gonna sit out there and let this, like, decrepit building, like, kill all these kids, and, like, yeah, it's like, maybe in his head he's like, oh, well, they'll get out of the building, and then the building will crumble, and then I'll never have to come back to this stupid orphanage again, and history is, like, gone. But I just think he doesn't think of consequences about things. It's like, where are these kids gonna go? There's nowhere else for them to go, you know? So, whereas Sakura, this is another, like, I love how Sakura was written in this chapter so much. Like, I love the fact that she just straight up calls him on his bull and was like, you need to get this together and you've got to stop this. I love this scene. If I do say so myself, this is one of my favorite scenes I've acted in a while, but it's so good. It's so good.
Well, it's true. It's like they were dancing around this for long enough, and Sakura's like, okay, I'll let them play their game, and I'll just, work on my own business, but this is getting out of hand.
It's our first real confrontation where she's like, I know what you are. You need to stop this.
Oh yeah, before I get into that, I thought it was important to note that there is a mention of his gem that looks like an eye hanging on a cord. And I feel like we haven't talked about this since, like, what, Arc 1?
I think the last time we saw it was during the best couple contest where he was, like, squeezing it when he was sitting at, like, the windowsill and it burnt his hand with the wave, the original wave, where it was like
Yes. Yes. So
the moon math.
So this is it. I feel that we have a true Chang versus Amamiya scene where, like, Aaron is showing his true colors. And Sakura basically said to attack her all he wants but leave the innocence out of it. She tried to reach out to his human side, but he just shut her down. However, that doesn't stop him from saving Sakura from being gravely injured. So it's like in the chapter, even he was surprised with his actions.
Well, I think my theory is that I think he's, like, possessed by the Dark One, you know, and then eventually when he kicks him out, then he's okay, or whoever the Dark One is, whether or not it's a him or whatever. But I just think, like, it was the Dark One was, like, possessing him, and then, like, he kicked them out long enough to, like, save Sakura, and he's like, whoa, that's the first time I've ever, like, kicked him out, basically, you know? So I think it's the first crack.
Yes.
In that extent, you know?
Yes. So Aaron finally asks why Sakura was kind to him and Erika. But that's just who Sakura was. And that's when Aaron shocked us all and said that he will try to not harm other people. Well, of course he finds another way to punish Sakura with the wave, but that's later on. And speaking of foreshadowing, Aaron will not be able to keep his word after all when the plague gets its turn at wreaking havoc.
And not to give it away, but he kind of releases the plague in retaliation against Sakura because she doesn't return his feelings, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of like a whole thing.
And this is where we get a front row seat of how the Dark Ones use Aaron as their puppet, with Sakura seeing firsthand the dark aura. So I thought that was because, like, you know, he must always have it around him, but I feel that, like, this is the first time Sakura is, like, witnessing such a thing. And we talked about how, like, the Dark Ones, they possess their descendants, and they're the only ones to do so. So this is just that in action.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you know, I feel like it's kind of confirmation for us as a reader. But, you know, we kind of talked about this in Arc 1 during the camping trip. Like, is he possessed by the Dark One? Is he not? You know, and then we saw it again kind of in the summer extravaganza. But now I feel like we have, like, a true confirmation, like, dark aura. And then he's able to overcome it and save Sakura. And then later on we see, like, he's able to, like, completely kick them out, and he's able to move to the light side, you know. So yeah, I think to look at it that way too, it's like finally confirmation on our end as well, like, yeah, this actually is what's happening here.
Yeah. The scene ends with Aaron barely bouncing back and asking Sakura to save him.
Aww.
Syaoran went to visit Maylin, who wasn't in her room because she was doing physio. He started tidying up her messy room, and that's when he found a letter addressed to him from his mother. And because of Maylin's hesitation, this is how Syaoran learned that he was going to be stripped from his Chosen One title if he didn't return. Maylin came back, but Syaoran kept a poker face. They talked about Syaoran's botched date and how Kai was pretty much AWOL, unless it was playroom duty. And that's when Maylin goes to sleep, and Syaoran's kind of mad at her and just tears up the letter without looking back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's more upset with her, really, than the actual situation, you know?
Yeah, because I think there was a line about, like, what, she didn't think he could handle it.
Right.
Yeah. The chapter ends with Kai as Kaiju magician, and it looks like he's going back to his old ways.
Dun dun dun.
Dark Forces Corner. There was foreshadowing about the wave when it was noted that there were a lot more children in the playroom because their parents were injured by the earthquakes. And I feel like this is probably one of the first Dark Forces outside of the werewolf that hurt people outside of Sakura's circle.
Very true. Very, very true.
Because it's like the Twister had the potential to harm more people, but Sakura was able to contain it in the shield.
Yeah, and then the wave manifested the first time with the hurricane. Like that little boy that had the worst luck in the world, you know, I guess he's kind of the outlier, but
yeah.
Yeah, that's very true, though.
I think this is the first time that it has, like, long, because, you know, people are in the hospital, their children are in the playroom, and it's like the hospital is desperate to get their staff, and yes, so I think this is the first, like, big punch to regular tomato life.
Kind of teeing up the plague too, sorta, just showing. Yeah.
There is one scene where Sakura literally gave Aaron a dirty look when the earthquake was happening at school, but he didn't seem to care. When SNS were coming back from Tokyo, the wave attacked again, and Syaoran suggested they use the unicorn to go home. Fan art spotlight. I was already considering Wish-chan's fan art of Subaru, but thanks to her blog, I pulled up the comparison between Wish-chan's drawing of the little boy, the Wish-chan's drawing and the little boy at the aquarium from Claire Card.
Insane. It's uncanny. Holy moly. So good.
Like, I know that in a lot of fan arts, Subaru has black hair, but Wish-chan also said that her model for Subaru is basically Chibi Syaoran. So yeah, Maybe he could have brown hair, but yeah, it's just like as soon as she saw that boy, her first thought was to, "Oh my God, it's Subaru."
Aww.
All right, time for the author's notes.
Okay, we have Wish-chan. Once again, the chapter is out much later than I promised. Hee hee. I'm sure many of the readers are tired of waiting by now. Never wished. We love you. Okay. But I still love to write and I love my characters. And there is yet another arc to come. This chapter was hard to write. Transition chapters are always hard to write, meaning the action is soon to come. Hee hee. More focus on Erdan this chapter. I like villains. Refer back to the special chapter on the legendary twins, which we talked about. Oh yeah, I don't know if you understood Syaoran's star analogy. If you're confused, look at the design on the back of the Sakura cards, not the cloud cards. There are 2 overlapping 5-point stars in the center, so that it looks like the star has 10 points. Anyway, the star on top is where Sakura stands. The entire thing. Then, the 5 points below represent each of the 5 great sorcerers. Then there is a 12-point star surrounding this. At each end of the star, there is the sun and the moon emblem. Kirabaris and Yue stand on their respective spots. Then there are 10 more spots left. First, of course, is Syaoran, then Kaho, Iril, Spinel Sun, Ruby Moon. These are the clamp characters from the Cloud card and Sakura card arcs. There are 5 spots remaining. Supposedly 2 spots are reserved for Erdan and Erika, 1 for Kai, and 2 for characters yet to come. Characters.
Well, does Miho get a spot?
She stands in for Kai.
Let's see.
So we know Kara is 1 because she's Reed.
She's a read, a real read.
Oh, no, she's already talked about Erdan and Erika.
I'm not sure, because it's like Erica's not in the circle for a while, but maybe Kara. Who knows?
Maybe Mooney Chan? I don't know.
Mooney Chan would love that. It's
our
like
little they them queen.
Yeah, because I think like Tomoyo, Meilin, they're like on Sakura's left and right, but they don't take an actual point.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a work in progress.
I've been playing with this idea for a long time now. Hee hee. I guess I was studying the Sakura cards too much in depth. These are all my own abstract and my own imaginations. Well, this is the last chapter I'll be writing in my old room. After 14 years, I'm finally moving. I know I said I'll be less busy after winter vacation, but I think I got even busier with preparation for moving. But I too get very frustrated because I want to move on with the story. Moving sucks though. No matter what stage of life you're in, moving sucks. Is the Lee clan structure confusing? Please refer to version 1 of the Lee clan hierarchy. And then she leaves her email and whatnot, and then says D. I'll try to update some part. Oh, never mind. So that's it.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just so charmed with her analogy, and I'll definitely put up the reference guide that a fan made on Facebook when we post this chapter for sure.
I'm still kind of like ruminating over who could be that other character. Because we have the Amiya.
Yes.
We have the dark ones.
Yes.
Then we have the Mizuki.
Yes.
And then we have the Lee.
Yes.
And then we know the Reed. So like who else would be there? Unless it's a typo, I don't know.
I think she'll circle back. She'll. Well, there's something that we're not seeing, and maybe Kara will join.
Yeah, I think that's for sure.
Yeah.
Eventually,
and we'll see. I don't want Leon to be part of it. You can go away.
No, that's what I was thinking. But surely not,
No.
unless that theory that Tomeo is like the secret sleeper cell that has like hidden magical prowess or something, and that's why Leon may or may not have flicked/licked. Which that part is coming up. And I think I am gonna message Wish-chan. I don't know if she'll get back to me in time, and I'm gonna see if I can get confirmation for the audiobook. Is it flick or is it lick?
You know what, Melanie? I can save you the trouble. We asked her this question, and it is 100% lick because his saliva is magic.
He's a Twilight vampire.
he was healing her wound. Well, we are off the rails tonight.
It's late, so we're getting slap happy.
You have been listening to New Trials, the podcast, where it must rain for there to be a rainbow.
You've been listening to New Trials, the podcast. Please be sure to check out the audiobook version of this fanfiction that you can find anywhere that you can find this fanfiction. Also, please be sure to check out the Facebook fan page for New Trials, where a big part of the discussions happen nowadays. And stick around next time when we discuss Chapter 45, The Silence of Darkness.